Leveling your raised beds. This is a very important thing to do. So if you're thinking about gardening, you really need to watch this video, because there's most likely you have some leveling that you need to do in your plot or wherever you are gardening, even if it's in your backyard, because most of us have little slopes. It may not look like you do, but you probably or may have a slope. So make sure you watch this video so you can learn about the pros and the cons, the reasons why you should level your raised beds or your little garden area. Many of you may be on some slopes in your backyard, and some of the areas in my yard, I didn't think that I really needed much leveling. I was like, I don't have to worry about that. But, you know, when me and my husband really talked about it, he's like, you really need to level that out because of the runoffs. And so he's completely right. So we did take the time to level all of our raised beds. And it really, truly is helpful. But basically, this is a 3x3 fire ring. First of all, it's very sturdy. And it's called a tartar ring, and you may have seen them. They're also like a county line type ring, and I will drop it in my description, so in case anybody's interested in looking at this kind of ring for a raised bed. I think it works remarkable. It's great quality. But anyways, we're here to talk about leveling. But leveling it just really didn't take that much time because it's not that large in size either. But just basically, I just had to, you know, grab something like this. You can have something like this, or kind of like the spade shovel. So what you want to get yourself are tools like these, right? See this kind of shovel, spade shovel? It really helps. It really digs deep into the ground. We definitely have clay soil type setup here. And so I just really need something that can dig through. If you are digging through if you are digging through clay soil, you want to wait to make sure that that soil is workable, because if it is dry in the heat of the summer and it's very, very dry, it's very, very difficult. Almost, it feels like it's impossible to go through. Here's another thing as well that I like to use myself. This is one that I like to use. Particularly, it gives like an even cut when you push through into the ground. And then this one as well. So this is another it's called a D grip garden spade as well. So they're just different kinds of spades that you can use for when you're digging through the soil. Another thing you need to get is an actual leveler. I like using this tool. Other people, I'm sure, have used other things before I've seen online, like string and all that. Y'all, I'm not that experienced. So I just needed something that's really simple and basic, straight to the point. I'm not trying to figure this all out. I just want to know, is it leveled, is it not? And so this is really cool, because if you see this bubble right here, you can see it. Let's see if I can get it level by just the way I'm holding it. You can see it moving. You want it to go right there in the center. Then you know that it is actually leveled. And then on here, there's actually, you know, the measurement. So that's really cool too. So I can measure and see, okay, well, how big is this? Is this actually a 3 feet wide type fire ring? You know, so it's really cool. So those are the things pretty much that I've been using. One of the first things we do is first check to see how much of it needs to be leveled. So we take this leveler and we place it in multiple directions. This direction, it's leveled. That's good. Thumbs up. But this other direction, it was not leveled. So I know that I need to do some leveling in this particular direction. See? Thumbs down. Watch what I do next. First, lay this down, and I just kind of pushed on it, just to ensure that I was getting the marking, so I knew where I was going to start poking through the ground and digging through. So I pushed on this. I actually stood on it, but don't do that because you might fall. But I stood on it and kind of bounced. Y'all, I do some silly, funny things, but don't do that because I don't want you falling over. But then once I have that marker, then I can take this, push down. I'm not going to do it right now, but push down into the ground and then pull back, and then it just creates like an edge line. It's almost like tracing, right? If you ever drawn pictures like when you're school age in school and you had to like trace things first before you color it in, that's basically what it is. You're just creating that the edge line where it's going to go, and then you start pushing and digging through. Don't skip this step. Do this step. Take the time, because you will appreciate it in the long run. Because once you fill that up with soil, and when your plants start growing, you start feeding it, you start watering it, you're going to see the soil running down just like it is on the slope. And most people have that slope in their backyard. They may. If you have flat land, more power to you. That's really awesome. But not all of us have that. And it will slope. And so then you got to fill more soil at one end, and just to avoid all that, just go ahead and level it. I have experience not leveling, so I know what that looks like with 2 of my beds. And right now, the reason why there was 2 other beds. They were where I planted sweet potato. And the reason why I did not level them is because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep those sweet potatoes in that spot. Now that I know that I really like that spot, I'm like, okay, I'm cool with it. I haven't leveled it yet. It's refilled, but at some point in the year or so, I may get to that. But this is going to be leveled, and I am happy about this. And if I can do this, you can too. As you're leveling, you're going to notice that you're going to think that, okay, I'm almost leveled. One end might be leveled. And you're like, okay, good, I'm leveled there. Perfect. You think you're good. Turn it. Is it leveled this way? Is it leveled that way? You got to check. And so there's a lot of, okay, I leveled one side and you think that's good, but the other side's not. So you got to take your spade again. Dig a little bit. Toss out some of that soil. Dig a little, toss out some of that soil. You might have to bring some of the soil to the other side on the inside to fill it and then level it. So you might be doing a lot of this, but you got to really check and make sure that it's leveled all the way around, because that's going to give you a true leveling. Okay? Leveling it out just really helps so that everything is just equally being flourished, receiving its nutrients, receiving its water, all at the same time, rather it just being sucked up onto one side and running off on the other. That is it for this video. I need to go ahead and now fill this with my soil mix. Now there are a lot of different ways that you can fill your raised beds, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to be filling mine now. And then make sure you continue watching my videos, that you subscribe to this channel. I will be showing you how to fill your garden pots and just some other methods of filling your raised beds. So remember to grow, eat, and self-care. See y'all soon. Bye.